If anyone's a little bit squeamish listening to this, it's going to get a bit disgusting. Have you guys had the breakthrough experience where you feel like your soul's being ripped open? The most tears I've ever cried, I think. Sadness, anger, frustration, guilt, all of it. This shit changed my life. Everyone needs to know about this. And he's like, you'll be back.
Really?
It's
the most egotistical thing you could say.
Like you can be going to the gym and still getting on the bags and treating yourself like shit.
I never think about the outcome. I'm not worried how many likes, how many shares.
Do you think that's where a lot of people go wrong? Is they're so focused on the outcome of certain things?
I'll think about it and get back to you. Everything in the teeth, because it's like directly linked to like the nerves.
They say that the old is it the aluminium filling?
Yes.
They block your pineal gland.
Yes, which is why they push for it and why they push for like fluoride in the toothpaste and why they push for everything and then they block it.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. So connected to the body and the brain.
And then apparently fluoride in the toothpaste blocks that gland as well. And in the water, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, exactly.
Go on a deep rabbit hole.
We've gone on the 10-year journey of decalcifying the pineal gland. So try and keep it that way.
So interesting.
Yeah, so maybe tell us a little bit about yourself.
I don't even know where to start.
Dentist.
Let's start with the start. Work your way up.
Okay.
As early as you can remember.
Yeah.
Childhood.
And then maybe come to today. Eventually.
Oh gosh. Okay. Starting from the start, I feel like my upbringing was quite normal, like Aussie teenager, Aussie upbringing, mum, dad, younger brother, dog, cat, like classic upbringing. And then when I was maybe 18 or 19 years old, my mum was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I think that that's where my journey kind of started to change.
You were 18 or 19?
18 or 19, yeah. I mean, I was a teenager and I wasn't really paying much attention to my mum, as bad as that sounds.
Yeah, no, makes sense.
And she went through chemo, radiation, double mastectomy, the whole 9 yards. And then when I was 20 years old, she was due for an operation to get her femur operated on. They were going to remove a bone in it and replace it because there was cancer in it now. And she didn't wake up.
Oh, wow.
And I feel like that was almost like, I feel like I had a really average, normal life until then.
At what age were you in that?
20 years old. So we were planning my 21st birthday party. We were like in the midst of party planning and then one day she wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, wow.
And so I think that that's really where my story began, where my journey began, because losing your mum at 20 years old is fucked. Devastating. And so from there, I wish I could say this story and be like, and then I found healing and then I found meditation, but I just found alcohol and drugs and like went down that route for 8 years.
Wow.
And just threw myself into the party scene and did all of that. And then as we were talking about before, through trauma and through like diet and exercise and all of that, my body started showing symptoms of Crohn's disease. And I think this is where like my story starts getting interesting.
Cool.
So when it was just before COVID in 2019, I can be really, really gross. So if anyone's a little bit squeamish listening to this, it's going to get a bit disgusting. So I was gluten-free, had celiac disease apparently when I was younger and just lived a gluten-free diet, as most people do, I feel like nowadays, right? And then one day I had this like golf ball size, I'm not even exaggerating, absolutely no mayo on this, golf ball size abscess pop up like between my, like near my asshole, just randomly, just pops up.
Wow.
And I was like, what the hell is this? I was like, this is so random, like ignored it, was so naive. You know, before you're into like your own health, everything goes over your head, right? And you're like, this is so random. I'll go to the doctor, check it out. And she looks at it and she goes, you need to go to the emergency room right now. Like this could pop, this could explode, this is filled with pus. And I was like, what do you mean? Like this is absolutely not filled with pus. Anyway, long story short, I had to get like it ultrasounded and they checked it. And I kid you not, I was like 27 years old at this time. And I thought I was in my prime. I was like, I'm the hottest I'll ever be. And I am lying on my side. I've got these two old white guys ultrasounding my butthole. I was like, this is not how my life is meant to be, you know? And so I went through this whole big journey. Turns out it was Crohn's disease. And I had, I think it was 6 operations on it because they kept reforming.
Wow.
If anyone doesn't know what Crohn's disease is, it is that like inflammation of the intestine. Mine presented through abscesses, so it was quite severe. And I feel like that kind of came on from the grief and it's kind of turned into this whole beautiful journey of holistic healing.
Why were they showing up in the rectal area?
Just lucky. Just lucky, I guess. That's where it was. So I had it in my upper intestine. I can't remember the scientific name for it. And then like the rectal passage. So apparently it's like a severe version of Crohn's, which is where my...
And if it didn't end up there, would have ended up a lot worse?
It would end, yeah. So it was like 6 or 7 operations. So I had this, the abscess, and they drain it. And then my skin closed over and it came back. Then they drain it again.
Wow.
Then it came back as a horseshoe, so it went around. So I had 2. And then they decided to put in these little like ties where they keep it open so it can heal from the inside out. It's so graphic, right? And this went for maybe a year or 2. So it was like constant hospital visits, constant like operations. And then finally they said, okay, it's Crohn's disease. We need to put you on this medication. You need to inject yourself. This is going to lower your immune system because obviously your body's fighting this.
Okay.
And that's why they kept filling up, right? And then abscesses are infections. So there's something going on in my body that's not agreeing. I said, you need to inject yourself and you need to take these tablets so your body doesn't fight back and then go and live your life. That's
so before they told you all that, how were you feeling?
Oh my God, I was fucked. I was so sick.
Wow.
I had no energy. I felt like I just lost my life because here I was at like 27, 28 and I've got these like things coming out of my butt.
And when did you start to feel shit? Like as in before that popped up?
Probably maybe a few years before that there was signs, but I didn't realize it at the time, right?
Okay.
I feel like when you...
And what were some of those signs?
I was getting sick with everything I ate. I was bleeding out of my butt. Anytime I went to the toilet, I was bloated, but I didn't take notice of anything.
Or you just didn't even
oblivious.
Like check. Like you just thought, I'm shitting from blood from my ass and
it's fine.
It's all good. Yeah,
it's all good. There was one day because I just didn't comprehend it and I just didn't, you know when you're so avoidant that you're just like, anyway, that's someone else's problem. That's a problem for another day. It's like, dude, you're actually bleeding from your asshole.
Yeah,
like something's wrong.
Do you know why you were avoidant?
I think just the fear of what if this is something bad? You know, I look back now and I go, you're so silly. Like you're such an idiot for not even getting this looked at. Could it have been mediated earlier on? But at the time, I just didn't want to face anything. And I do think only looking back in retrospect now, I can see that probably came through everything that happened with my mum.
Yeah, of course.
Like all of the big medical things. It's like, no, I've dealt with my trauma. A little bit of blood's fine.
Because she went in for an operation and didn't come out.
Yeah.
That fear.
The fear of it. The fear of like, what if there's something wrong with me now? And if I just avoid it, maybe it's not going to be there.
If you're serious about energy, recovery, and long-term health, listen to this. C60 supports your cells by helping reduce oxidative stress and by supporting mitochondrial function, which is your body's energy production. One of the few supplements that we personally take daily.
We only talk about products we actually use, and Carbon 60 is one that stayed in our routine. For us, the difference showed up in recovery, clearer thinking, and overall day-to-day resilience. If you have been looking for something that supports your body at a deeper level, C60 is definitely worth exploring.
What was your 20s like? Like in those years, like you said, drugs and alcohol, but what were you studying? Were you working?
Yeah.
What was life like?
I was a hair and makeup artist. So I was working a lot on like shoots and e-commerce and backstage for a lot of things. But then over the weekends, like Thursday to Sunday would just be absolute benders. And I wasn't someone that you went to for advice or help. I was the friend you went to for a bag or an extra drink and things like that. And that's just how I lived my life on repeat. And I didn't see anything wrong with it. You know?
And your friends at that time, would you say they were good friends?
They were good for me at the time, or I thought they were, right? Because we were all doing the same thing. And when you're around that, when you're in that echo chamber, you don't see anything wrong with your behavior or no one wants to change because all your friends are doing it as well.
Yeah.
So we're all staying up until 5 a.m. and then having a little nap and then doing it again, you know?
That's the Melbourne scene.
It's the Melbourne scene. And once you're in it, it's so hard to escape and you don't see anything else.
It's very normal here for that. Like I think we all go through it, as in the party, the alcohol, drugs, like the majority of Melburnians at that coming through high school, and I feel like it's just such a normal thing.
Yeah. Even at this age as well, like I've now been sober 5 years. I haven't touched anything, but it's still a bit like, oh, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you don't drink? Like you're still a little bit of an outsider.
Less and less. Less and less.
Yeah.
As in like, probably haven't, I'd maybe drink once a year at max, if that, and not a big amount. Like just at my work Christmas party, I'll have 2 or 3 drinks just with the group, with the boys. But other than that, I won't. And even then, I'm like, I can barely do it.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's becoming less and less common for people to drink, I think, which is good. It's not to drink.
Do you think that's a health thing?
I think so. I think the way the world's going, I feel like it's the health and wellness movement is moving.
Yeah.
I think.
It's moving.
Or maybe that's just my perception because that's what I'm radiating. So that's what I'm attracting potentially. So I'm not really seeing that as much, but maybe because I'm just not vibrating at that frequency. So I don't notice it.
Yeah.
But to me, I'm like, oh, no one's drinking alcohol. But I'm guessing I'm wrong, but that's probably just what I'm seeing through my lens.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Which would make sense as well because what you like, the frequency of what you like are at is what you put out. And so back in that time when I was surrounded by it, I would have been.
Yeah.
Because I was in it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. So what was the journey after you got diagnosed? Like, obviously they're telling you to now inject yourself and take these tablets. And I'm guessing at that time, you probably didn't have the wellness and holistic mindset. So you're probably like, oh yeah, I'll do this. I'm guessing.
Yep. I was like, yep, no worries. Because then they scared me and they said, the next stage from this is like a colostomy bag, like where they actually take out a part of your intestine and they put the bag there and then like you lose access to your rectal passage and all of that.
Wow.
And like that's how they heal it. And that's a common thing with like Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, all of that. So they said, if this doesn't work, that's the next step.
But that's to heal it and then they take it out or it stays with you?
We didn't get that far. Some people have it for life. Some people have it just as a like, not like a Band-Aid fix, but to kind of help it while the rest can heal in a way. But that just scared me. And it wasn't through like, oh, that's painful. It's like, I don't want that. Like, again, I was such a vain 27-year-old that I was like, I don't want that on my body. Like, I'll take my injections. I'll be really good.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit. So I played along with that. And then COVID hit and it was like, you need to get vaccinated. You need to do all of this. You need to stay inside because you're high risk. You're going to die essentially if you get this. You will die is what my gastroenterologist said.
That's out of control.
And then I'm living in this high stressed environment. I'm so scared of everything. And then I can't remember exactly. There was just one day where I was reading this book, How to Do the Work, Dr. Nicole LaPera. Have you read it? Really, really good book. She's a holistic psychologist and it's a really good, like it just talks you through like healing your inner child and dealing with the ego and all this stuff. And I read this and I was like, whoa. Like, what's personal development? People work on themselves. And it opened up this whole new world for me. And from there, I just decided, I was like, you know what? I think there's more to life than living on these injections and taking medication. And what if I could maybe like look after myself in a better way? Because none of my doctors had any conversations about my diet. There was nothing about my lifestyle. There was not like, how much are you drinking? How much cocaine are you snorting every week? Like, what are your stress levels? It was nothing. No conversation about that.
Which is out of control.
Out of control. Like there was nothing about lifestyle. And I just remember going, maybe there's another way, maybe there's another path. And I just started exploring it. Like I started meditating and I started going through cold ocean swims in the beach. And from there, it just kind of like, and I'd love to hear like if your holistic journeys were the same, like it just kind of snowballs. Like it starts with one little thing. And then all of a sudden you're a freak with red light glasses on. And you're like, is this organic?
It's that seed that was planted. You know, once you open your, like that's the journey. For me, it's like I'm chasing that every day. It's been 7 years and I'm just like, what can I do next to, get better and do better and feel better and biohacking and wellness and whatever you can do. But I feel like that's the chase, like as in that's the journey. Not so much a chase, but that's the journey. You always want to just like better yourself and where can you take it? And it just, it snowballs and you just doing shit you never thought you'd be doing.
Literally. I was like, I'm not one for meditating, like I'm not a hippie. And now it's like part of my everyday routine. And it's just, once the seed's planted, it just moves.
For sure.
Yeah.
The wellness habits are essentially the new drug.
Yeah.
Like you're just replacing the alcohol and the cocaine with better things, like things that are going to, relieve the stress.
Yeah.
And like a little bit of escapism, which is not a big deal either. Like we all need it. But
it's a healthy one.
But it has a good consequence on the other side.
Yeah.
So
It's like a healthy dopamine.
Correct.
Right? And instead of getting like dopamine from cocaine or whatever, you're getting it from cold water or like the ocean. And it's the same. You are chasing a high essentially, but it's like a better high.
Yeah, it's a healthier high.
Yeah.
Sure.
We're always chasing a high. That's why we run. That's why we ride bikes. That's why we do anything. It's not just drugs and alcohol. It's kind of everything.
No.
You know?
Then I wonder if that's why we go to drugs and alcohol, because it's almost easier than, say, going for a 5K run.
It's cheap dopamine.
It's a cheap dopamine.
That's why social media is so fucking addictive and such a big problem right now, because that's the bigger problem. And like, it's the way people are just, you know, screen time and just wasting so much time just, you know, scrolling. There's no boredom anymore. Boredom used to be this thing where we could sit there and like the brain is able to think and activate and, you know, connect neural pathways and form memories through thinking about things that have happened. Now that we don't have that. Who sits there and thinks?
No one.
You're at a bus stop, you're not thinking, you're scrolling.
Yeah.
Everyone's always, you know, it's
controversial thing to say, but I feel like social media is almost as bad as cocaine.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because you can reflect, and the social norm is not to be a drug addict, right? So, you know, there's rehab for it, and look, it's not a social norm, whereas social media isn't something that someone's going to say, I'm addicted to, or so you're just trapped in it. There's no reason to get out because everyone's doing it. There's no, like, it's a worse trap. Whereas like, you know, a lot of people, they'll do their drugs and alcohol. Some won't stop, but 90% of people, they'll go through a phase, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and they move on with their lives. Whereas social media is like, there's no reason to stop. And it's you know, it's controlling people's lives. It's, you know, people are losing 5-6 hours of their days. Like it's
even worse
really
than
bad.
cocaine, because cocaine, like there's a selective group that do it too. But
Yeah,
social media, there's
everyone's doing
kids
it. It's
all the way to
pandemic.
80, 90-year-olds. Like you got old people now, you know, like 10 years ago, the old people didn't even like, they wouldn't like engage in phones and, you know, they were still a little bit that, they held that old school rep. But now it's like the 80-year-olds are just, they're on TikTok.
It's
and they're
crazy.
dancing and they're like part of it and you're like, stop.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting. And I wonder if that's also because it is so well, like the target client for social media is so broad, right? And what would happen if it was illegal or like restricted in some way?
Underground Instagram.
Yeah. But it's designed perfectly, right? In order to capture our attention, like the way that they track our eyes, the way that like the blue light from the screen increases the cortisol, makes you chase the dopamine. It's like a perfectly designed product to keep you trapped.
Yeah.
Everything you just said also similarly describes the medical system, because you're in that room. There's the way it's lit. There's the way they project the information. There's the cortisol.
Yeah.
It's literally like, it's kind of the same thing. So like you're walking into these rooms, there's a guy there that's dressed up. He's got a PhD and he's, you know, this smart guy. And then he's telling you you're going to die because you haven't been vaccinated or you're not getting this injection.
Yeah.
But then on the other end, he's not asking you any of the right questions, not ever asking you about your lifestyle, diet. You know, it's crazy. It's so paradoxical.
It's crazy. They're just essentially drug dealers
It's a
at
business.
the end of the day. It's a business.
It's a business, and they're like the doctors believe they're doing the right thing because they're being brought into the system.
Yeah.
So they're giving you the information that they've been given, and they don't have bad intent, but they've been trained under a system where they believe they're doing the right thing. So they're not being malicious about it. They're trained. Essentially they're trained salesmen, but they just don't know it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think this is where people get confused, because when they hear that, oh no, I don't really go to the doctor, or I don't trust Western medicine, they think we're attacking the doctors, but it's like they are doing exactly what they've been
correct.
taught. And
100%.
it's not that it's not malicious in any way. They've just been taught to sell drugs, and to Band-Aid fix and to fix symptoms rather than address the root cause or understand the body or talk about nutrition or talk about lifestyle, talk about stress. There's so much more to it than just drugs.
But also when you go to buy a car, you ask questions, you want to know what extras it comes with, you want to know how it works. You know, we make like intentional decisions with a lot of things in our life, but when it comes to the medical system, we go there and we just kind of submit to whatever they say. And so it's not the system's problem. It's not the doctor's problem. It's each individual person's problem. Like, do the research, especially when something's going on inside you. Like, you're about to take something, research it. Who cares? Even if it's as small as Panadol, just do some research. How's this going to affect me? And is it actually benefiting me? And do I need to take this Panadol for my headache, or can I just drink water with a bit of salt?
Yes.
Like, why not just check your options, you know?
Yeah.
So it's up to the individual. It's up to us to make those decisions. That's the game of life. It can't just be this easy game of life where everything's simple and we know everything and we're always healthy, and like, that's a boring world.
Yeah.
It's not the way it works.
It's like reclaim your own power. Like, stop putting your power in the system or in a medical professional, and listen to your body. Why do I have a headache?
People don't see it though. And once you do see it, the system for how it is, you can't unsee it. It's like, but I don't think 99% of people don't view it the way, I guess, we do. But once you see it, you can't unsee it.
You can't go back.
No, you can't.
And sometimes you're like, shit, like, I wish I could go back.
So what is Crohn's?
So, I mean,
I know you've already said it, but I want to hear it again in more detail.
Yeah. I'm obviously not a doctor, but from my understanding, it is an inflammatory bowel condition. So it's classified as an autoimmune. In the Western world, it is the body attacking itself. I don't believe that, because I don't believe the body would ever do anything to attack itself or hurt itself. I think it's trying to get back into balance. But essentially, it typically affects people in their intestines, rectal passage, like all through the gastrointestinal tract. Presents in inflammation, abscesses, ulcers, vomiting, diarrhea, bleeding, all of that. Like, it's quite intense.
Okay, and now with your experience and what you've learned, what is it?
Yeah, well,
what does it become?
Nothing.
Like, what is Crohn's?
Nothing.
Is it a byproduct of something?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of it was triggered from the trauma of my mum, and then just got like hit into the ground through avoiding, right? And I had obviously a lot of grief as a 20-year-old, and then I was just left with my dad and my brother, who were just blokey men who didn't speak about their feelings at all. Love them dearly. We're so close, but no one in that household grieved openly. So I think there was a lot of stored trauma that got stuck in the body, or whatever you kind of believe in, that was just there.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it didn't get expressed. It didn't get processed. I held all of that. So I think it's kind of the repercussions of that.
Yeah. It's dis-ease in the body.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the first journey on healing? What did that look like for you?
I did a lot of breath work.
So first thing, so let's wind it back a bit. So you started taking the injections and the tablets?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Horrible, because I had to literally grab fat on my stomach and inject myself with it.
Daily?
Weekly.
Weekly, yeah.
Weekly, and then they had to be kept in a fridge, and I couldn't travel because I had to be stored in refrigerated conditions.
Yeah.
I also because I had these they were trying to keep the abscess holes open, so I had these little drains, little plastic things coming out of my butthole, essentially.
What, full time?
Full time.
Wow.
So injecting, taking medication, had these, and they were bright blue. And so anytime I went to the bathroom, I had to sit in this warm, salty water bath because I had open wounds, essentially.
So intense.
It was so intense. And as a 28-year-old girl who's trying to live, laugh, love, it was not a vibe at all. I couldn't go in the ocean. I couldn't go in any open water because I had open wounds. So they're no traveling because you have to have your medication, no going in open water because of your high risk of infection. Take the vaccine, otherwise you're going to die. Take your injections, otherwise you're going to get a stoma bag. That's your life. And I was this can't be my life. And they said, this is your life. This is how it is.
And at what point, so you read the book, what was the pivotal movement? What was your first, did you stop taking them straight away? Were you what was that journey? Not
straight away. I started being a little bit of a hippie at the time. I was oh, what's meditation? I'm going to explore this. And then there was these absolute weirdos doing cold ocean dips in the middle of lockdown. And I was these freaks.
Was that the feel good dip?
Yes. Were you there?
Nah, but that was a big community, man. That grew.
Huge. Apparently it started with 5 of them and it grew to hundreds of people.
Yeah, so good.
So that was incredible. And then you've got all these weirdos doing cold ocean swims, and I just started doing that in the morning. And I was
you did it without, just as in because you obviously weren't allowed to.
I was whatever. What are you going to do?
Yeah,
What's the worst that can happen? Being an absolute stubborn brat about it.
Yeah, well, it's probably not a bad thing in this scenario.
I think it actually saved my life being a stubborn brat because there was at one point, like I started doing this and then I was just so self-conscious. And then I went to my doctor and I was like, can you just take these like bands out? They've been in for a year or a year and a half at this point, and like kind of battled with him. And he's like, look, if they close back up and you get abscesses again, you're going to have more surgery. And I was like, that's okay. That's fine. Like, please, like begged this man to take them out. And so once he did that, I was like, I'm free. And I was like, I promise I'll take my medication. Like, I promise I'll be really good. And then like started experimenting and started going to cold ocean therapy, started getting into breath work. And then
Did you have a breakthrough?
Yeah.
Breath
Absolutely changed my life.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh, there was one, it was at like a camping festival for Sacred Cacao.
Oh, wow.
Actually, this is why I'm close with them. And we were all in this, there was like a fire and we were all in this circle and we'd all had cacao and it was like really, really hippy dippy. And we were in it and I actually like, you know, when you start the breath work and your body starts to tingle and you're starting to get it. And it was one of my first experiences. I actually stood up and walked out. Like we were outside, I stood up in the camping and I was like, oh, I can't, this isn't for me. This isn't for me.
Wow.
And I walked out. And then one of the facilitators came and got me. He's like, what's going on? I said, fuck that. Like, no way am I going back into that space. Like, no way can I can't do this. And this was before, like I still had heaps of grief shoved down. I'd stopped drinking. That was probably one of the main things I started.
Yeah.
Started meditating, really like dabbling into the personal development world.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going back in there. Fuck that. Like, you guys are fucking crazy. I'm not doing it. He's like, come on, like you can do this. You can do this. It's just breath. You got this. And went back in and it was one of these moments, and have you guys had the breakthrough experience where you feel like your soul's being ripped open and you're just like screaming as like full exorcism? The most tears I've ever cried, I think.
Wow.
Just crying, and I'm being held and there was these two guys either side of me who were holding my hands. I don't even know who they are really, and I'm just getting supported by these people.
What were you feeling?
Sadness, anger, like frustration, guilt, all of it. But then like bliss.
Yeah.
And just like pride.
Beautiful.
And it was the most insane experience. And from there, I was like, this shit changed my life. Everyone needs to know about this. And it's like one of those experiences you wake up from and you're like, I'm a healed person. Like I'm ready to save the world. And then you're like, oh, hang on, there's heaps more to go. But incredible.
Beautiful. It's a good way to start the journey.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then from there, I think I just started like the seed had been planted. So I just kept exploring more and like I stopped drinking. And that was only meant to be one weekend. Then it turned into 2 weekends. Then it turned into a month. Then it turned into 3 months. And that just kind of kept going.
You were drinking while you had the...
No, I wasn't.
As in when you had the bag?
Yeah, when I had the Crohn's and everything, God, I was still drinking.
Wow.
Well, what? No one told me not to.
The doctors didn't tell you not to?
No.
That's insane.
No one told me.
That is insane.
No one told me not to. I was still getting on the bags.
And you didn't know that. You weren't thinking like, oh, that's not affecting me. It's separate to that.
Completely separate.
Wow.
What does what I'm drinking and eating have to do with my body?
Wow, that's crazy.
Like that was my mentality. And there was no conversation about maybe you shouldn't do this.
Insane.
Like my dentist today asked me more about recreational drug use than my doctor.
That's insane.
Absolutely crazy. So yeah, I was still partying and all of that.
Yeah, wow.
Taking the medication, doing all of that. And so yeah, that's how that journey kind of started. And then I found the carnivore diet. You guys have heard of that. That seems to be really good for autoimmune conditions and inflammatory.
Good, yeah.
Have you done it like a prolonged time?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, it's been 3 years now.
Wow.
3 years. So like I go through phases with it because it's obviously like incredibly restrictive and incredibly hard. But I do feel my best when I'm really strict on it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's the one thing that's helped, but I think it's like part of the toolbox, you know, with everything else and the cold water swims and just getting to know myself and just processing grief as well.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And what do you do now?
For Crohn's?
No, just in general, life, like work.
Who am I? So now I'm a holistic psychotherapist. So
What's a psychotherapist?
So I work with women and their bodies. I help them a lot with their nervous system, anxiety, depression, lifestyle.
Wow.
Not so much like Crohn's, but like dis-ease in the body essentially.
How did that come about?
So that idea was from that book I read. So that book changed my life. So I was a hair and makeup artist for 10 years, like party girl, bleach blonde hair extensions, like would not be sitting here drinking cacao. I probably would have called it cacao or something like ridiculous. And then read this book and I was like, wow, personal development is crazy. There's people that work on themselves. There's more to the world than being a hot bitch. Like, what is this? And then it just spiraled and I started studying holistic counseling. because I wanted to help people with grief and trauma. And I was like, wow, yeah. Then I did that breath work and I was like, I'm healed because I processed my grief. I want to help other people. And then I got into it and I was like, nope, that is too heavy. That's too much. I don't want to talk about grief all the time. And then I kept studying like nervous system stuff and like just holistic therapies. And then here we are with holistic psychotherapy and it's fucking incredible.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Can you guide us through like a bit of a journey of like what it looks like when someone comes to you?
Yeah. So typically they present with either like they know they're anxious or they're highly strung or they're kind of like veering on the edge of burnout. Like, you know, that like they're snappy, they're overactive. They probably are in a bit of a scroll hole as well. They've got high phone usage. They might be like, they might feel stressed or they might be presenting with stress in the body. So maybe like rashes or gastro issues. Maybe they're really tired. Maybe they have low energy and they just want better for themselves. So I don't really help people who are like super low and maybe need more like of a psychologist. The way I help is like, I feel pretty shit. There's shit going on and I want to feel better.
And how do you tackle it?
Well, always nervous system first. So as we were talking about with the nervous system before, it's like the key to everything, right? Your nervous system is your communication pathway, your communication gateway. Yeah. And if that's perceiving a threat, it's going to send out the stress response. So in order to heal anxiety or stop panic attacks or anything like that, we need to start there.
Yeah.
You know, and the way I look at things was exactly how I helped myself. It's through lifestyle. It's not, oh, you're anxious, go get anti-anxiety meds. It's like, what's your life look like? What are your relationships? Like
diet.
Your diet. Are you exercising? Are you moving your fucking body? Are you getting out in the sunlight? Are you sitting inside for 10 hours a day looking at a big screen while you're scrolling on your little screen and you hate your life? Like no wonder you're anxious. So it's like helping people find that same pathway.
Yeah.
Yeah, exposing people to like the most basic necessities of life. Just get sun, walk around, get your feet in some ground.
Yeah, but you'd be surprised at how many people don't do it.
Yeah, I know. But that's why it's so funny.
It's crazy. Or like teaching women about the four phases of their menstrual cycle. You're just like, women just don't know these things or people just don't know these things.
What are the 4 stages?
So we have like, you're like, there's 4? Like your follicular stage, ovulation, like luteal and, oh my God, now you put me on the spot. I can't remember it. Menstrual phase. Like
and how do they impact?
So depending on where you're at in your cycle, so men have like a 24-hour clock, like where your testosterone will peak in the morning and then it kind of just like trails down, right? And the workday was designed to hit a men's cycle, whereas women have a 28-day clock. So this is where you'll find that if a woman is like bleeding, she'll typically want like heat packs and like chocolate and she'll just like want to like cuddle in and snuggle, right? Then after that, they're going to go through a bit of a build phase. And when women are ovulating, they're typically at their like most creative peak, right? Because their body is like, hey, let's make a baby. So typically like their skin will glow a little bit more. They'll feel hotter. They'll feel onto it. They'll feel like, yeah, let's fucking go. And it's like biologically, their body's like baby time. And then as we drop that and after the ovulation, we'll go into a luteal phase, which is like slowing down. So things might feel like you want to like have a little bit more rest or where like PMS, not that that's like a normal thing, but most women will experience it. We'll kind of start PMS? To feel that. Oh my God, I don't know what it stands for, but it's like when women, they say they have PMS, so they get like mood swings and stuff with their period. And it's like bloating and
period mood swings.
Yeah. And like people get like grumpy, but it's like that's also because of the inflammation in the body and the dis-ease in the body that's causing it.
So how's your Crohn's today?
I have 0 symptoms.
Yeah, wow.
0 symptoms. I'm in remission. I went back to my doctor maybe 3 years ago now.
Wow.
So I just stopped taking my medication. So it's like tracked and everything. And I just was like, fuck that. I'm not taking that. Like I'm going to go and heal naturally. I'm going to do all of this. And I went back to my doctor for my checkup and he was doing an ultrasound and he's like, yep, there's no inflammation. You're in remission, but I know you haven't been taking your medication. And I was like,
how did you know?
Because it's like tracked on the system. Like when I go and pick it up and I have to like log my symptoms and log all of this. And I was just like, fuck that. I'm not doing anything.
Was he disappointed?
Well, he's like, what have you been doing? And I was like, like a bit of breath work and like a bit of like my diet and stuff. And he's like, you'll be back.
Really?
And, yeah. And he goes, you'll be back. And I said, what do you mean? God. And he goes, I've got a patient that was in remission for 10 years and he goes to the gym, he lives a healthy life, but he got his Crohn's came back 10 years later. So he's like, I'll just see you when you get back.
Yeah, but you ask
It's the most egotistical thing you could have said.
But it was perfect because I was like, watch me never fucking return, like in my head. Obviously,
But
in the
also,
office, I was
if
like,
there's
okay.
a moment where you do need to return, it's not because you need to return to him. It's because there's something that needs to be worked on.
Exactly.
It's a sign to just change something.
That's what I was saying. That guy might have gone through something, re-triggered a nervous system regulators, and it doesn't necessarily mean he had to go back to you. He just went back to you because he thought that was the right thing to do, but there was other things that could have helped.
Exactly. And just because you go to the gym, it doesn't automatically mean you're healthy.
No, of course not.
Like you can be going to the gym and still getting on the bags and treating yourself like shit. So it's like there's so many factors for a fully holistic healing journey, I think.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with holistic. Like you said, the holistic dentist actually asked you about your lifestyle. You know, holistic approaches with anything, even like in construction, we build holistically. You got to look at the whole picture. It's not like one thing. You know, that's what holistic means. It's like the whole picture.
Yeah.
So looking at things from that angle, you know,
Can't believe he said that.
Yeah, it was hectic, but it was perfect because you know when someone just doesn't believe in you, you're like, great, like I'm so stubborn.
The only person you need to prove it to is yourself anyway.
That's it. And I think with Crohn's as well, when we look at like how it impacts the body, apparently like gastrointestinal stuff and autoimmune is like attacking themselves. So it's like I had to look at a lot of like my relationship to myself.
Yeah, wow.
And then we were talking about holistic before. It's like you can't just heal in isolation.
Yeah.
Like even like a broken like finger or something, you're not just going to like heal just the finger. You're going to look at your lifestyle. You're going to look at like what are you putting in your body to help you heal? Everything is all connected. And I think that's where the Western system goes wrong is that they're trying to heal things in little bits rather than the whole human. You know?
Where do you see yourself taking the psychotherapy? Like, is there a vision? Is there something somewhere you want, or you kind of just like content with where it is, or is there something bigger? What do you think?
I would love to help more people on a grander scale, which is why I love this shit. I would love to write a book one day. I would love to do like big talks and not so much helping clients one-on-one through psychotherapy, but through showing them what's possible. Yeah. Like I'm just a girl. There's absolutely nothing special about me. There's absolutely no like, I didn't grow up in a fully holistic household where my parents were hippies or like meditation experts, or I didn't grow up on organic food. Like I'm just very, very fucking average, but decided I wanted to change. And I feel like if I can share that with everyone else, that gives them the option and gives them the inspiration to change as well.
Yeah, it's a good message.
Yeah, I just think it's so important to just like see someone average doing cool shit and just go, she can do it, I can do it.
Yeah,
it's actually not that hard, you know?
So good.
Whereabouts are you from? Melbourne?
I grew up in the southeast and now I live around Brighton, like Bayside area. Yeah, you?
You hit the beach often?
Yeah, always.
Yeah, that's like the key, I reckon.
Yeah.
Health.
I agree.
It's like the water, you just connecting the electrons, the grounding aspect to it.
So what does a typical day look like for you now?
A typical day, I train quite early in the morning. So I train at 5:30. I've been getting into boxing, which has been really good for my mental health, really good for my physical health as well. So I'll do that and then I'll go for a walk like along the beach near like Cheltenham area. You know that trail walk? Have you guys been down there?
Probably not.
So good. But you're like,
we ride to Black Rock. We used to ride. Through that. Is that kind of the trail walk?
Yeah. So just like kind of down a little bit from there.
Yeah, cool.
So go for a little walk through there. Most days I'll have like client sessions, like one-on-ones, or I'll do like some group coaching where I help like some business owners because it's all like nervous system work as well. Yeah. Like as you know, when you're like growing businesses and stuff, you like have that like fear of judgment or like that fear of being seen and all of that stuff pops up. So I help people with that, help people with their anxiety, chat to people, run this kind of stuff. Just like living the life. Living the life. Yeah, which is really good.
Did you have much anxiety growing up in school? I know you said like things were good then, but I feel like we all run through a bit of anxiety at school trying to fit in.
I wouldn't have labeled it anxiety at the time, but looking back, yes. But I got bullied so much in school. So much, all through primary school, all through high school. Just couldn't tell you why, but just like didn't really have many friends, always got left out, got things thrown at me, like really hectic bullying most of my school life, but I would never have come home and said I'm anxious.
You just thought it was normal.
I just thought
that plays a big
normal.
part into like your subconscious rendering as well.
Yeah.
You know? So like even the Crohn's could have been linked to something with that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it all plays a part. Because getting bullied that much, that's a lot. Like,
it was a lot. And I never really I feel like it's like the lesser of all the traumas, you know, like with everything that's going on, but it would have shaped how I see myself.
For sure.
For sure. Like getting that level of bullying and being left out of group chats and like being uninvited to parties and people putting shit in my locker and like all of this stuff as a young kid and a young girl, it definitely shapes who you are. And so then I do wonder if that bullying and how I started to see myself, infiltrated everything that kind of happened.
It all plays a part.
It all plays a part. But even you've got to think like when you're like 3 or 4 years old, the way that your parents speak to you, that installs belief systems into who you become as an adult.
Yeah, it's very important. Those years are so important.
Yeah, we're very soft and malleable at that age.
Yeah.
I feel like knowing that though and being a parent with young kids, it's a blessing to be able to have that knowledge. And, you know, I feel like the next generation, if there's more conscious people parenting the way they should be, I feel like the next generation should make for a better world. I feel like it's important.
Are you parenting, we're going to Uno reverse this now. Are you parenting in a way that's like different to how you grew up? Like specifically you making sure that you do things like I didn't get this or I did get this and doing it that way?
Yeah. So I feel like I had a pretty good upbringing. But one thing I do think is I had limitations set upon me, and I now realize that there was none and they were never there. But like, I feel like that's something that, you know, like I know that we are capable of doing anything, whereas my parents were more conservative, you know, than, you know, work for someone, don't strive too much. Or, you know, when I was young, I wanted to play in basketball, NBA, NBL, like there's but make sure, you know, you got something to back on, like, you know, something in case that fails, or like, you know, just kept me in a bit of a box. And so that's probably the biggest thing that I take from my childhood is like, there's no boxes in my house, like capable of doing anything. And if you give it a crack, I'll be there by your side and we'll do it together. Like I'll make sure of it. But that's probably the biggest thing for me was like making sure like, and like obviously holistic health and wellness and, you know, my daughter's praying and meditating and, you know, affirmations in the mirror and like all the little things. But yeah, just do the best I can, really.
Yeah.
Do the best I can.
It's so cool, isn't it, where you go through those things and you learn them and then you get to pass them on to another little human who will then grow up one day and then pass them on to their little humans.
I can't imagine how advanced my daughter's going to be.
Yeah.
Like, it blows my mind because I'm like, wow, she's like, she's prepped up to live a fucking good life, I'm telling you now. Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
And it's like having someone who's so self-aware as a parent will like impact them so much because we get everything from our parents. Like I know for sure there's been things passed down from my mum, the way she viewed herself or the way typically how our parents view money will get passed down to us, right? And if it's like money doesn't grow on trees or like we can't afford that, then we start to hold that money back. Yeah. And so as we move through the next generations of all these self-aware, holistic people having kids, it's like these kids are going to be limitless.
That's the curse. That's the generational curse. It's not so much like a witch came and put a curse on you. It's like those limitations.
Yeah.
Or you got to break. That's the person that breaks those limitations. That's the curse. People think it's like some curse that's being given to your generation. No, it's not the case. That's how people explain it. But it's like it's breaking through like the habits or the things that have been brought down to you that aren't serving you. If you break through those, and then you're breaking the curse. So it stopped with me. Any of those limitations, any of those money beliefs, any of those things that were given to me, it stopped with me. So I've broken the curse.
Yeah.
And now the rest of like my daughter's kids and their kids' they're not going to have those things that, you know, weren't serving me essentially or the generations before me. And now the generations, like, you know, there's a before and after and it's like with me. Yeah. I feel like it's definitely a thing.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Even like, coming back to, I don't know why I'm stuck on this kids topic, but my brother's just had a few kids. And so I've got a 2-year-old niece. And even when she like hurts herself, she gets like a boo-boo on her knee. It's like, it's okay, kiss it better. Right. And you're like teaching kids to heal themselves or that they don't need to have a Band-Aid on things or, you know, it's like all those little things that get ingrained in them that they're going to grow up. Yeah. Just taking on.
We've spoken about this before and I don't know what the right way is, but like originally with my daughter, if she hurt herself, I would say, like, you know, you're okay if we'll shake it off kind of thing. But now I remember someone told us on the podcast, like, now, and this is what I've been implementing is like, saying, how do you feel?
Yeah.
You know, and like let them feel it themselves, and you know what I mean? Instead of just like ignoring it and making her ignore it, let her understand how she's feeling in the situation.
Yeah. Because that's a big thing. And I see that with a lot of my clients as well, like women, because I mainly work with women, but they've grown up and had their feelings not like hushed, essentially, suppressed, right? And then they grow up into adults and they can't even communicate their needs in their adult intimate relationship, or they don't feel comfortable crying, or they feel like they're too much. And it's like, it all starts at that age.
It's all a journey too. I don't know if what I'm doing is right or wrong. I'm just doing the best I can. And same with our parents. They were just doing their best.
That's it.
But I think the key is to just do it consciously.
Yeah.
Like all the decisions that I make, I don't just make it willy-nilly. I think about it. I mull on it. I think what's the best thing I can do in this situation. Yeah. I feel like being conscious and that's with everything in life.
Yeah.
What you're eating, what you're drinking, where you're moving, you know, who you're connecting with. Like as long as you're making those decisions consciously, I feel like you're
and with intention.
With intention.
With intention and with love. Right. And
but how often are you really conscious? Like it's your the kids are going to be picking up the times where you're not like focusing on what you're doing. It's your unconscious habits that actually get ingrained in the children, you know? And so it's just about like doing the right things, having the right habits, so then your unconscious behavior is as good as it can be.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's working on yourself is the best part.
And the relationship between like the man and the woman, like the mum and the dad, is very important. The way, you know, the father treats the mother, the way the mother treats the father. And then like even the dynamics of like, you've got this is something that like I look at is the father's time with the kids is more quality and the mother's time with the kids is more quantity. Because the mother is with the kids most of the time. Yeah. So they're getting like the quality side of the mum. They're not always going to get her best self because she's always with them. She can't be her best self all the time. Whereas the dad comes in for like 1-2 hours a day and gives the quality because he just gives, you know, you give your all to the kids in those moments. So like they don't pick up the bad habits as much of the father. I mean, I didn't read this anyway. This is just my own reflections. But it makes sense. Like, so the dad's like unconscious habits are usually not as present. So they don't pick them up as much. Whereas the mother's bad habits or any unconscious habits, whether they're good or bad, do get picked up a lot more.
Yeah, because it's monkey see, monkey do, right? Like you don't even know what you're teaching that child. I'm not in any way, shape or form a parenting expert or a parent, so don't know how valid my thoughts are.
Yeah, that's okay.
But it's like they pick up on so much and their brains are literally like sponges, and that's where working on your nervous system is important, because if you're flying off the handle at every single thing, you're in a stress response, your kids are interpreting that. Exactly like what you said. It's the unconscious stuff that we need to be careful of.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the way you react to situations, like if you're getting angry over things and they're seeing you, and especially like as the male, if you're not there that often, they're only seeing you, say, let's call it 1 hour a day on a percentage basis when you work it out. If they see you 5 times a week at a certain amount of hours and you're angry X amount of those hours, like half those hours, which is not a lot for your whole life, but in their world, it's 50% of them spending time with you, you're angry. Does that make they're picking up those emotions, those ways, they get scared, whatever else. So it's like, That's why it's very important for the father's time there to be really on point as well, because if they can perceive you very easily based on small habits.
Yeah. And then also like, why is my dad always so upset at me? What have I done?
Yeah.
And then they start to interpret that as like on their own self. And then it's like, well, I can't make a noise, or I can't cry, or I can't be too much because dad's going to get angry. And they start already like going into that survival state. It's so interesting. So interesting.
Do you meditate daily?
Yeah, meditate daily. Sometimes I listen to frequencies.
Yeah.
Other times it's just silent. But I think it's been one of those things where I guess like exercise, where it's like you don't necessarily notice the difference until you stop doing it. Like obviously exercise, you feel good in the moment, but it's one of those things where you stop for a few days and you're like, why do I feel like fucking ass?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't been around my own thoughts. And I think with what we were saying before about social media, I think it's even more important now to have that time to be with your own thoughts and to just be in silence, because no one's ever in silence anymore.
What's some advice you give to people that, because I'm one of them. Like I love meditation. Like I live and breathe it, but I have a busy as fuck lifestyle. Like I'm on the go 24/7. Like I'm nonstop. I don't feel like I feel like my nervous system, I do the right things. Like I'm feeling good. I feel amazing. I'm ready to run through walls most of the time. Like I feel pretty good. But I know I do want to meditate, and I guess it's a priority thing, but I struggle to stay consistent with it. But I like other things like training, dieting, exercise. I'm consistent with everything. But meditation, and it's the number one thing I want to do, but I just find it hard to like be able to do it daily.
What are you getting out of not doing it?
Time, but not really though. I don't know. Probably not much. Yeah,
because it's not a consistency problem, because you can be consistent with training and food and everything. So there's something in meditation that the value isn't there.
Yeah, maybe.
So then what is it? Why isn't it?
You just don't feel that stressed out.
Yeah, potentially that too. But I always have breakthroughs. I always feel amazing. But then, as of recently, like I feel like my meditations have lacked. Maybe I need some meditation training.
Yeah, but that's interesting though, but what is a lacking in meditation? Are you chasing the high?
Yeah, probably. I think that's what it is, because I have visions, I have ideas, I connect with God, things flow through me, I feel euphoric, I come out of it writing notes, and I guess maybe that's what it is. You probably hit the nail on the head. Maybe the last 10 times I haven't had that breakthrough, or like, maybe I am a bit overstimulated, and then I'm having a harder time connecting potentially.
Isn't it funny? It's like, I don't have time for meditation, but it's because you don't have time for meditation, it's almost like more of a necessity.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah,
how interesting. Yeah. And it is like chasing the high of it. If you're not connecting to God or not having those big euphoric experiences, then the value drops.
Yeah, it's true.
In it.
That was more for me. I just wanted
This is what I do.
I wanted some self-reflection. So how do you make it a priority? What does that look like for you?
I make sure I schedule it into my calendar. And I schedule it in a time that works well. So for me, I get up at like 4:45 most days. I'm not going to do it then. I honestly won't. And I'm not going to try and schedule it in at 4:45 to 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because there's no chance in hell. So I typically will train, go for a walk, have a shower, get ready, and then I'll do it around like 8:30. Yeah, and I'll sit down and I make sure I enjoy it. So I don't there's nothing else to do in that time. I give myself half an hour. I sit in a spot that I like and I just do it. But there is some days that it's not going to be available because you are running around. But I think meditation is one of those things where 5 minutes is going to be better than 0.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? And so if you can even find 5 minutes a day to consistently do it, it's going to be better than doing 30 minutes every random Friday.
Yeah.
What's the technique you use?
I'll just focus on my breath and then speak to whoever is coming. I'm just not there. Yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah. But I started with the Headspace app. Have you seen that?
That's how I started years ago.
Right? With the 10 minutes a day and you focus on your breath. Did you do that one?
Yeah. I can barely, I think I was doing that in 2017. Even way before my health journey. I just used to do it because I was highly stressed, had a lot going on.
Yeah.
And I'd just do it, just tap out in the car. Usually I used to do it.
It's so good.
Headspace, yeah.
Headspace is really good. Or Insight Timer has lots of guided meditations. But you would also probably like more of an active, something with more breath work in it then.
Yeah,
rather than
I always kind
sitting.
of implement a little bit of breath. I'm conscious of breathing. I love frequencies. I feel like that gets me in the zone. To me, that's that sends me.
Yeah.
That sends me.
It's the best. Yeah. I think just making time for it and also knowing, I say to my clients, because they struggle, a lot of the women that see me are highly strung or anxious. So the idea of sitting down with their own thoughts is absolutely fucking not.
Yeah, that's not my problem at all.
No, you're I love it.
Yeah, no, that's not my problem.
So I recommend to people to just have silent, be in the car silent or go for a walk without listening to something.
Yeah.
Have those moments of silence because that also helps you get into the meditative state. May not be sitting down meditation, but it's important. It's like an entry point because if you can't even be alone in the car without listening to something or calling someone or, you can't walk for an hour without anyone else in your ears, sitting alone is going to be really, really hard for you.
Yeah, true.
What's the difference between breathwork and meditation or the outcome of them?
Meditation, I like to think of is more of a passive, right? You're more observing the thoughts or you are focusing on one point and kind of just focusing on that or focusing on your breath or focusing on a point in your body. depending on the style of meditation, whereas breathwork is more active. So you're manipulating the breath in a certain way to change the gas levels in the body. So they're just different kind of outcomes. I think meditation is really good for finding clarity or finding calm or opening yourself up or like meditating on a certain idea or thought.
What about nervous system regulation? Does it play a part or not really?
Yeah, depending on what state you're at. So if you're in quite an active state or like a state of stress and you try to meditate, you might not be able to
connect. Yeah.
You might, because it's like if you're operating at this level going, I'm fucking stressed, and then you're like trying to force yourself. It's like when you've got a puppy and you're trying to get it to sit and it's like, I'm not sitting, and it's just running away. Like that's like your nervous system. It's like trying to get it to sit in meditation. It's like absolutely not. But because breathwork is more active and you're manipulating your breath, you have something to focus on. You're physically moving. It requires work.
Yeah.
That can sometimes be better for more active, stressed out people in order to get you out of the, back into the parasympathetic nervous system. So outcome-wise, similar in the long term, but I think breathwork, because it also focuses on the lungs because you're breathing, lungs are connected to grief in Chinese medicine. So I think that helps process a lot of stored emotions or stuck emotions. You get different like physical experiences. Like you guys have had the tingles or like the DMT kind of trips as well from it, which you can get from meditation, but they're just slightly different.
Have you delved into yoga at all?
A little bit.
Not much.
Yeah. Not you?
Yeah, a little bit. Jono loves it.
Yeah, I do a lot of yoga.
Yeah. What kind of yoga?
Just like slow flow.
Yeah.
Slow flow vinyasas mainly.
Yeah.
That's more like they're real spiritual. Spiritual slow flows is what I love.
Yeah.
Been doing them for years.
Yeah.
Haven't in the last like 6 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
I had to give it up.
Why?
Yeah, nice.
I just kids. I've got 3 kids. Like the third kid, I really had to like. I don't do any self like the most. I still do. I'm lucky. I live in a wellness home, so like I've got it all at my fingertips. But I can't get to like a yoga studio. I struggle to get to the wellness clubs. I mainly just I'll still try and do a little bit at home, but not a lot of time.
It'll come back.
Kids and work.
Yeah,
like we're working on big projects. Like the last 6 months has been like heavy this year in like working on a massive project plus the added layer of kids, family.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of time, but I mean, I love yoga.
Yeah. Well, how do you prioritize that then? Because I think like my lifestyle is very different. I work for myself. I have no kids. Like I'm very, very time free, right? And I can say I get up like this and I do this, but like the way I live is going to be so different to what you prioritize.
You just change things. So like I'm still eating, like eating's on point because you always just want to be like clean eating. We live like, seed oil free, everything grass fed, organic, just all those boxes are ticked. So it's a low tox life in a sense, living in a house that sort of breathes with you, lives like it's a healthy home. That helps. There's wellness facilities in the home. There's a reformer. So I've been doing a little bit of Pilates here and there. I jump into the hot tub most nights to regulate, but I've implementing like different things. So like lately I've implemented putting my phone on charge at night in a different room. So like I avoid just, being on my phone late, but also it's not about the being on the phone late because I don't really go on it much anyway if I'm not working, but it's more about when you wake up.
Yeah.
So by not having it in your room when you wake up, it's been a big game changer, just having it in another room because you wake up, doesn't matter too bad what the time is, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. And I mean, also when I wake up, I like to breathe. So I always do not breath work, but try and like just expand the lungs, just wake them up and take some big deep breaths. But now without having the phone there, like the breath works gets a bit deeper, the prayer, you got more time to pray. It's like it's little cues to guide you in that right direction. And I mean like little things like that, sometimes like a 10, 15 minute breath work, most days 10, 15 minute breath work before I leave the house. And that's it. I'm set up for success. I'm charging.
It's win the morning, win the day.
Yeah.
Right?
And we wake up heaps at night. Like there's always a kid waking up. They're having dreams. There's like, it's chaos at night time lately. But it's chill. Like, I don't know. I'm still here. I'm still kicking. Still smashing it every day.
Yeah, and I feel like everything ebbs and flows. Like we go through periods where like I'll go through, not usually like, but I feel like we've both been in the same boat. Like it's been like we've been to battle lately, and then we're setting up our futures. We know, like, all right, we're in it right now. Like I've been training since I was 15 in the gym, and I don't think I've missed more than a week for 10 years. I probably didn't miss more than a week of training. But then, like not recently, I'm back for about 6 weeks. But I knew, like, I went through like a 6-month spell where I was like, I had to sacrifice it. I just knew that, like, yeah, I could probably prioritize it, but like it was hard. Like, it wasn't so much going on. Like, it's just like, I don't even think I'd have to sacrifice something.
Yeah.
It wasn't a matter of like, there's not enough hours in the day unless I wake up at 3 a.m. But then I think sleep's more important than training. So I was like, all right, that's not happening. So I feel like I always knew I'll get back into it. I know it's a temporary sacrifice, but knowing that, like, you're going through something, whatever that is, like, everything's going to ebb and flow. Like, you can't, and that's why I was surprised when I heard he stopped doing yoga, because I was like, man, he does yoga every day. I'm calling. He's like, I'm fucking rushing to yoga, like, So, but I get it, because I'm like, fuck it. You got to sacrifice temporarily, take a hit, and then you get back into it. And then I feel like now I took probably 8 months off training. Now I'm back into it, but I'm like, whole new different ball game for me now training, because I like took it away from me. I feel like you get stuck in a pattern, and that's everything in life. You get stuck in this unconscious pattern of training, and whether it's dieting, training, exercising. Now I'm back into it. Like, I'm loving it more. I'm training differently. I'm more intentional with my diet and my training. I'm counting my macros. Like, and I probably wouldn't have done that if I didn't stop. So I think stopping was a step forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes when you take something away, you appreciate it more. You look at it differently. You adjust, you become better. So I feel like as long as you're like doing it consciously again, like I feel like it's a step forward. I thought I was taking steps back. Now I realize, fuck, I took 10 steps forward, because I probably still would have been doing the stuff I was doing back then, but pulling it away and now coming back into it, fresh eyes.
Yeah. So like a sacred pause, like when things, like when the ocean comes out to come back in, or like an arrow, right? Like everything has to come out to come back in with purpose. And
for sure.
Well, you know how it just like pulls back and then it's like crashes into the rocks, and it's like, but it needs that. And if it just keeps going forward, it's not going to be as powerful. And we all have seasons for different things, right? If you're in this build phase or this push phase, be like everything has a price. And at that point, training was the price, but you paid the price of it. And now look at like how good it's gotten. And everything ebbs and flows, and everything changes depending on different seasons and depending on how old your kids are or what's happening with your work. And like, I think this is where people get stuck with comparison as well, or they'll see, like, talking about social media, they'll see all this shit on social media of like people doing all these things, and it's like they're in such a different season. That's why I was like, I don't have kids. I work for myself. My time is so different to your time. Who's got 3 kids at home and like running however big the construction company is. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's so important to have different conversations about what different people are doing, and also honor the season that you're in as well.
100%. And more than anything, just stick to your own lane. Fuck what anyone else is doing.
Literally.
I was just about to say, like, something that I've taken on this podcast through Jono is stoicism. Because like I used to always somewhat think about what people would say, what the community would say. Like, now I just don't give a fuck. I could not care less what anyone is doing and what anyone thinks about me. And I've never felt better. Like, and I fully grasped that, like, the stoicism is like, I just don't care. And I'm living the best I've ever felt. Like, I truly could not. And I think about it, like, in 50 years' time, like, I'm not going to be here. And probably anyone that knew me might not be here. Like, does it really matter, like, what anyone thinks about me? Because in hindsight, the only person I need to be impressing in this lifetime is myself.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like, being stoic and not caring is like, what anyone thinks about you is like a superpower.
It's so freeing, so liberating.
It's the best.
Yeah. I feel like it's such an important part of the journey in terms of holistic as well. Like how we were talking about how everything is holistic and it's all different parts. I think self-acceptance and not giving a fuck is actually one of the most healing things that you can do for yourself.
100%. I feel like you were born like that.
Have you ever struggled with it?
I mean, like you throughout high school, you're kind of like trying to fit in. I don't know. I'm not sure. I kind of just don't care. No, I've kind of never cared.
No, you haven't.
Really? No. That must be so freeing.
It would have developed through like teens and stuff. I think there was definitely at one point probably elements of, I did care, but kind of just, I don't know. Even growing up, didn't really like care about like what my parents thought or like their input on things. Like I just fucking, I've been in my lane for a long time and just doing my thing and having fun and just like, if I want to do something, I just get it done. I don't care. I don't see obstacles.
Yeah, it's true.
That's a superpower. Did your parents bring you up like that?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I feel like your dad.
I haven't actually overly reflected on why I don't give a fuck so much.
Because that's like so powerful.
Yeah, it's really refreshing because I look at him and it's like, fuck, like that was my inspiration.
But sometimes sometimes I go through phases where I give a fuck and then I'm like, why do I care?
He said something the other day. I was like, bro, what's happening to you?
So it's normal. It's just like, I don't know. But yeah, it is a bit of a superpower because like you just don't care. Like, and I'm very like on this and in the self-reflection, I have realized that I'm experience driven. I'm not outcome driven.
That's true.
In what way?
I just don't care about the outcome. Like I'm in it for the experience, everything. Like essentially even sitting here on this podcast. The only reason I'm here is for the experience, to be here, soaking this up, speaking to you, cameras, mics, like it's an experience.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The outcome doesn't matter. I never think about the outcome. I'm not worried like where it goes, who sees it, how many likes, how many shares. Nothing. I've never even looked at the stats on the fucking on this podcast. Like that's how much I don't care.
I love that though. But that's like the art of detachment, right? Of just like doing it for the journey and not doing it for a certain reason or you're getting attached to the outcome, which I think makes it so much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just here for a lull. I'm just here for fun.
If we were here and we're trying to hit a target of like getting 100 million views or trying to, make a certain financial status, I feel like you'd lose the energy of it. Whereas we're here just to be here and talk to you and that was it. Like, the byproduct of that and the consistency, so be it.
Yeah.
But that's not why we do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally for the experience.
Yeah. Do you think that's where a lot of people go wrong? Is they're so focused on the outcome of certain things?
Yeah, I don't know if it's them going wrong because you could look at it both ways. You could see it as I'm going wrong, but because people who are like outcome driven, then they are worried about like essentially how much money they make, which then gives them potentially a better result.
Yeah.
But more stress, more attached to the outcome. There's the attachment.
Yeah, but
whereas
what happens if you don't hit that outcome either? Then there's like an emotion attached to it. You feel shit.
Correct. Yeah. But they might not. It's not necessarily like hitting a goal. It's just hitting an outcome. Like they're attached to the outcome. Checking could be as simple as like posting on social media and then like worrying about how many likes you're getting or did people see it or was it good traction or whereas being like experience driven, there's downfalls in it too, like you spend more money recklessly, you don't care as much because it's the experience at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We're not so much like, you're not jumping into a business because you want to make money out of the business. You're doing it because you want to learn, you want to grow in that field, you meet people. There's so much, but also it is more of a blessing being experience driven because you're in it for the experience. You're just more present. You're having fun with things, way less stressful. Like as much shit as I going on, I don't stress.
You don't look
like
very stressed.
Rarely stress. I stress if I'm like running late. Not even though. But it's the small things. Like it's interesting. It's an interesting. I'll think about it and get back to you.
Yeah, well, it's like a different currency almost. Because it's like when you do things for money, like you were saying, like build the business for money, but you're doing it for the experience or the enjoyment or the learning. You're just not focused on like the money side of it, right? But you're still getting value in some way.
Yeah. And you're still getting money too. Like the money still comes.
Yeah.
It's not that there's no money. It's just you're less careful with your money. That's all it is. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yourself?
I don't know. I think I'm a little bit of both. I don't like to set really hard, fast goals. I will set intentions of like, oh, this would be really cool. But I think I'm, very focused on the like experience of it and just like, oh, that sounds fun. Let's just do that and not think about how far that could go or what that could mean. But then in my business, I feel like I am very good at reverse engineering of like, if I want X, then like, how do I get there and how can I plan that out? But then just like hands off the steering wheel and just let go. Have you guys ever read The Surrender Experiment? highly recommend if you're into it. It's like a tiny little bit of a spiritual book, but he pretty much just talks about, it's one of my favorite books. He talks about how he just kind of said yes to things. And it's this guy, he was a meditation teacher and a university teacher, and it led him into owning one of the biggest product development things in America, like $1 billion, because he just kept saying yes to things that he essentially, his ego was saying no to, but he was just surrendering. And it's kind of like having the experience of it, like who am I to know the outcome?
Yeah.
Like very, very spiritual thing.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Really cool.
What was the decision to come here today and talk to us? Was that an experience-based thing or?
Yeah, that was just like, I like the vibe of these guys. Yeah. And we just like slide into the DMs and I love like the holistic conversation. I think more people need to have it. And that's where I was like, hey, I've got this like pretty cool story. I think we could have a cool chat.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it was also like not being scared of rejection or like the outcome. Like it was like, I'm going to send this and if it works, it works. If not, like I still did it, like shoot your shot kind of energy.
Yeah, now you're here.
And now we're here. Now we're best friends. So it's great.
I've got a question. Contraception.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it?
I think it's sold to women as a way of fucking up our entire reproductive systems. And it's not something that we should be doing. I think there's a time and a place for it. But I think in regards to the way we were speaking about doctors before, about like just kind of like handing out things and it being a business, I think unfortunately there's a lot of young women that were put on it. I was put on it at like 14 or 15 for my skin or something crazy. And then I was on it for 10 years before I was like, what is this? Right? We're just put on it for silly things. We're put on it for period pain. We're put on it for skin conditions or cramps or whatever. And then we go 10, 20 years sometimes of being on the contraceptive pill or rod or IUD or whatever, and then we try to have kids and we can't because our bodies have actually never really experienced a natural cycle before. So I think it's really, really harmful, to be honest, and there's ways to track your cycle without it. And I don't know, one of the first things I learned in my holistic journey was that you actually can't get pregnant every day of the year, which is like blew my mind. Like you can only get pregnant when you're ovulating, and not all women ovulate because of like all the hormonal shit. So it's actually not that easy. And I think I didn't
know that till recently too.
It's crazy, right? It's like, but in high school, it's like, if you have sex, you will die. Like you will get someone pregnant and that's what's going to happen. And then I've got all friends like trying to have kids and they're struggling so much. And again,
it's
so common and they're having to go down the IVF route or like all these other ways. But it's like, yeah, you were on contraceptive for 25 years. Your body actually doesn't know what it's like to have a period. Or you had all this pain, which was actually endometriosis or PCOS that's now been masked by the pill. Now you've got 25 years of symptoms popping up. Your body's fucked. Your body's confused, right? It's doing the best it can, but there's heaps going on and IVF isn't always the answer to that.
Is there a way to recover from it?
I believe so. I mean, I've personally never dealt with like endo or PCOS, but at the end of the day, it's an inflammatory condition as well. So there would be things that you could do anti-inflammatory wise, like diet, lifestyle, all of that. I think as well when it comes to like how we're talking about grief and the lungs, like the sexual organs are typically like mother and father wounds. So like looking at your relationships with those types of things, looking at your relationship to yourself if you're a woman. Yeah, your relationship to femininity, to masculinity.
So can you repeat that? So the sexual organs are linked to mother and father wounds.
Yeah. So this isn't like a scientific study or anything like that. This is like, do not fact check me. But like on the woo-woo side of things, how things link to different parts, right? And when we look at like PCOS or endometriosis, like the womb space, typically, and I'm not saying this for every single person, but typically they show up when there is a wound or an incident with the mother or father. So it might be like an estranged relationship or there might be some kind of friction or tension through growing up. And sometimes it can manifest there. Like I believe that the Crohn's was a manifestation of my relationship to myself. And that's like the gut, hard to digest, struggling to digest things in self, autoimmune.
Do you think there could be any link between the contraception and the Crohn's?
Probably. I've never really thought about it.
And the bullying.
Oh, it's all connected.
It's all connected.
I would have a guess that everything is connected. And even like childhood vaccines.
Yeah.
everything would be connected to me getting that Crohn's. And then I put my like woo-woo hat on and I go, but it was perfect.
But then also on the other side of it, you being who you are today is also connected to the Crohn's.
Exactly. Exactly.
And childhood vaccines, like, what do you think of that?
You're really putting me on the spot. Jesus.
Oh my God.
I just think do your research on them. And I think about things. Like we were talking about before with the Panadol. Just have a little think about what you're putting into your body.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was obviously a child. I grew up in a normal household, so I've had childhood vaccines. Whether they played a part in who I am now or my health, who knows? But I think do your research on what you're putting into your child.
Yeah. Uno reverse. What do you think about
that? We need to get an Uno reverse card.
Does anyone know the stats of like,
can we look
how
them
many
up?
vaxes they give kids? Like by a certain age?
67 or something? By
what?
By what age?
By, I think it's like 18 months.
That's crazy.
I could have just completely made that number up. Do you know it?
Sounds intense, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was true.
It's
but the thing
high
is,
number.
like, even I personally think even one or two injections to a newborn or baby by the age of 1 or 2, which I know it's way more than that, I still think is insanity.
Yes.
And the fact that we've been trained or like the system has like ingrained in us that that's normal. It's fine. It's like, oh, it's fine to just kill people. You know what I mean? Like how can they convince us to believe that? But they've convinced people that it's okay. It's actually normal. It's actually not insanity to inject your children with just random stuff at all ages. And look, don't get me wrong. Obviously there's vaccines that have, saved lives and stuff. But
I just think that God did a good job of making us. I think there's like 1 billion connections in my eyeball. One eyeball, there's over 1 billion connections.
Yeah.
I think that a human didn't need to come and then say, oh, hey, God fucked up. You need to put this in you because he forgot to put it.
Yeah,
that's how I saw it. Yeah. When I made the decision not to vaccinate my daughter, I thought that was what I was thinking. I was like, God's perfect. Look at where we live and look at my hands. Look at how everything works and runs, and I can see with my eyes, walk with my legs. Everything's perfect. Nothing. He didn't miss out on. He forgot to give me B12. It's like I don't think that's the case. I think that we're made perfectly. I don't think that we need to add anything to our bodies. I just don't think that's something necessary that humans made that because God forgot to put it or God fucked up. You know what I mean? Like it didn't make sense to me.
Did you feel like you got backlash from your family or from people around you by not vaccinating your daughter?
No one knows. As in like,
well, now everyone knows.
Yeah, I couldn't care. No, I don't. I feel like COVID was the blessing of that because like, a lot of my family weren't getting vaccinated because they could see this. They could see the whole thing playing out. Like it was just so obvious. Like they made it so obvious that like I think that potentially if COVID wasn't a thing, my daughter probably would have been vaccinated.
Yeah. Well, that's what they call it, the Great Wake Up, right? It was the Great Awakening where everyone was like, it's so obvious. Are you going to fucking wake up or are you going to keep being?
They made it so obvious. Like that was the thing. Like it's like, oh wow. Like then you start questioning things. Before that, I wasn't questioning things. There was no need. But like then, like they pushed this agenda and they made it so blatantly obvious. And if you're half awake, you could see it.
Yeah.
Then, like to be honest, I think if there was no COVID, I probably would have vaccinated my daughter. But what a blessing!
It brought on the awareness.
It brought on the awareness. Yeah.
Yeah. Same. Like I was in the midst of my Crohn stuff with it. And then like only through that was I able to go like, hang on a minute, why are you pushing this? And what's this injection? And it fully like transformed the way I saw things, right?
Sure.
But it's so interesting. And I think that they make anti-vaxxers appear more crazy because it like fits the bigger agenda, right? Like it's like make sure that they know that they're absolutely insane.
And it's a social norm. It's just what we're growing up to like, it's just normal. Like as in it's embedded in us.
Yeah.
But then like again, we've broken that cycle.
It's so interesting. But so yes, to answer your question, I do think childhood vaccines, bullying, contraceptive pill, all of that can lead to disease. And I think it manifested as Crohn's in my body, but potentially for other people, it manifests as eczema or PCOS or cancer or like whatever it is. I think the body only has a certain tolerance. Mine chose to show itself like this, but everyone will have some type of dis-ease in their body if they have an accumulation of that. Wow.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Go.
There's like, we pinpoint it to all these things, but then mostly like even through your conversation, you mainly related the Crohn's to trauma.
Yeah.
So the trauma, like it was the manifestation of stored trauma in the body that created the sickness. I know it could be partly both.
Everything.
But if it is, majority of the times the sickness is actually manifested through the trauma.
Yes.
Because when you release the trauma, the sickness goes. Then potentially it had nothing to do with all those things you just said.
Potentially. But who knows?
Yeah.
Or maybe I just like manifested the whole thing in my body. I don't. No, I didn't.
I definitely think
you know what I mean? Like, who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
I feel like unforgiveness, and whether that's, I feel like unforgiveness is the biggest cause of thing, as in like whatever that looks like to you, whether it's
which is unrelease of the energy.
Unrelease of the energy. Like, I feel like that's the biggest cause. Like, I feel like anyone that's holding on to something like for so long, and I know a lot of people, there's so many people that hold on to something that happened 10 years ago and they still think about it. It's like, bro, let go of it. Like, why are you holding on to something? Like, I feel like unforgiveness of anything, even if, like, no matter what it is, I feel like that's the number one cause of disease. Yeah.
It was stored, like holding onto your emotions or stored things. I'm going to drop another book. Have you read When the Body Says No? No,
we have not.
Dr. Gabor Mate, he talks about, he's like a doctor.
Yeah, we know we know him, yes.
Of course. Okay, good.
Yeah.
But in this book, he talks about how there's different personalities for different diseases. And so like typically like cancer patients, they'll be able to tell that someone has cancer based on the way that they're interacting because they typically fall into more of a people pleaser.
Yeah, wow.
And so that like that also has to do with it as well, because like you're saying unforgiveness, or like how do you interact with people? How do you interact with yourself? And is that translating into dis-ease in the body physically?
Yeah,
it's so interesting.
Yeah, and that's why I brought this up. Like it's as in that's the Gabor Mate's like way of thinking.
Yeah.
Is that it's all trauma based, you know?
Yeah.
So then if you minus the trauma, then you're probably minusing the disease.
Yeah.
Which means then did all those bad habits and the contraception and the vaccinations, did they even play an effect? That's what I'm trying to like, it's just
who knows?
Probably not.
Probably not. But then if
because everyone's been vaccinated. Not everyone's
but you're also kind of, you're like, let's say I'm holding trauma and then that disease is coming up in my body. You're now feeding that disease with the toxins. You know what I mean? It's giving the fuel.
Yeah, you're fueling the fire.
You're fueling the fire.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then also like lifestyle factors as well. Like if you're someone that had all of that trauma and everything, but then you're like going in for a sauna 4 times a week, you're exercising, you're eating only organic, like that's going to play a part in how it manifests in your body.
So what do you think's more important? What do you think's more important? If let's just say I was training. Yeah. I was eating good foods, but I had my nervous system was unregulated, or other way around, my nervous system's regulated, but I'm not training, not moving my body, and I'm eating shit.
I don't think you could have a fully regulated nervous system if you weren't moving your body.
Yeah, good point.
Like, because I think they're almost one in the same, right? But you could be training good and doing all of that, but your nervous system's still overactive or you're still in a stress response because of the way that you're training, which training is inflammation, essentially, right? That's how it builds muscle. That's what it is. So you could still be doing that and still be dysregulated. But I think to have a fully like, and when we say regulation, we don't mean calm, right? We mean like the ability to choose your response where you're not lashing out or reacting, but you are there, you're present.
Yeah.
So to be able to do that, I think you need to be moving your body to some degree. Because you wouldn't be able to be just stationary and not training in some way or even like exercising.
Yeah, true. And how big of a factor is your diet? You think it plays a massive part? I
think this falls into the like phases and chapters and like ebbs and flows kind of conversation, because some people will really benefit from like all organic food and all of that. But then if someone's at the start of their journey when they're eating Maccas and GYG and like Monster energy drinks, jumping to organic food and going, you need to have organic food is going to be like huge for them. Where it's like, maybe just stop drinking energy drinks.
This is an interesting experiment that happened. So a guy was unhealthy, right? And his like blood pressure I can't remember what it was. There was so many like things, blood pressure, like insulin. There was like, he had so many health problems, right? And his experiment was, I'm going to eat Maccas every day, Right, this was as part of it when he was unhealthy, but I'm going to eat in a calorie deficit. So he ate shit food, but he made sure he was in a calorie deficit, and he did it for I think he did it for 12 weeks. So he ate Maccas every day, but he was in a calorie deficit. He came out of it and all of his markers, he dropped weight, all of his markers went good. Like his results came back like amazing.
What?
Yeah, and it's a thing now. They're saying like, as long as you're eating in a calorie, I know this is controversial, but if you're eating in a calorie deficit, that's the most important thing, more than what you're eating. I know that's very controversial.
But is that just for weight loss? Because surely...
Well, it's not. Yeah, that's weight loss is the byproduct of eating in the deficit, but it also helps your blood sugar. It also helps all these other blood markers. I've got to do a bit more research on it, but...
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And also I wonder if that's just the impact of... If he's eating in a calorie deficit, he's eating less, so he's typically probably fasting longer.
Potentially.
Like, is there other levers at play? And then over a 12-week, it's that. But then is it one of those things that like improves after 12 weeks?
I'm not saying it's a good thing to do that in no way, shape or form.
Recommended. That's what I heard.
I would never recommend it, but I just thought that was interesting. I was like, fuck, that's so interesting.
That's
like,
crazy.
Yeah, well, but also with experiments, like you can never trust them because it's like, what are they actually testing?
Yeah, it's true.
Because they could be testing certain markers that do improve, but certain things don't. And then also, how long duration, 12 weeks, what happens after 6 months, what happens after a year, what other effects start to happen.
Yeah, I'm highly not recommending, but just thought it was interesting.
There's a few holes in your story.
Yeah.
But it's also like, do you remember that documentary from years ago, Super Size Me?
Yes.
That's just got me thinking about that. Because I think that when we're eating like McDonald's and shit every day, there's a different conversation between weight loss versus health.
Oh yeah, for sure.
As well.
100%. Thank you so much for your time today. We really, our 90 minutes is up.
God bless.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much for having me. So much fun. Thank you.
Is there anything we should have asked that we didn't?
No, it was perfect. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the experience.
Thank you.
Yay.
Lots of love. God bless everyone. If you're still listening, we're giving away 5 free bottles of C60 to the first 5 people who comment reflection on any of our pinned posts. God bless. Thank you.